All right, now we're getting to the meat of the season because next episode is Pillow Talk, and this is Sour Grapes, Sour Peaches. Two of the most influential Housewives episodes in history. So we open with Cynthia at Bar None. Oh, they're celebrating their 3-year anniversary. I guess you're having it at Bar One since you can't afford to go anywhere else. And this is when we get introduced to Natalie and Chris whoever. I was gonna call him Chris Bridges, but it ain't Bridges. Rodgers? Not Rodgers. He was a singer. So she tells them, I know Todd from back in the day. He used to swerve. Loves to come up. I'm not surprised he with Candy. So Chris sings to Cynthia for this little anniversary. And honey, Peter wasn't a lonely man. He was a broke man. Over at the candy factory, it's 10 weeks till a mother's love. So Nene has Portia over since she's trying to be a better friend and tells Nene about her new dating ventures. We know how those went. They also go over Kenya's missing oil tycoon. Kenya has a family dinner with Auntie Lesbian and a few others. So now we head over with Candy and she and Todd are looking for theaters. So Todd goes on and doesn't take the other job. He said he not feeling it. He gonna work with Candy on A Mother's Love. Oh, but at Cynthia's house, we're having Nene and Marlo over with Lexus. So we heading to a winery. Kenya coming too, and we gonna meet, not Minicue, but the other heifer married to Chris there. So Kenya brings up the fact that Natalie's common law married to Chris. Well, you're not law married to anyone, common or otherwise. So Cynthia says, well, you know, Natalie used to have a friend that dated Todd, and Todd was cheating on her. Oh! Marlo said Candy probably doing sign language and eating. Is she still fat? Oh, what about Phaedra? Because she was fat too. So we all get to the wine tasting, and now Natalie's arrived. So we get to the chapel because Candy getting married, and then Natalie says, well, you know, I eloped to Vegas when Chris was on tour. However, Kenya says that's not the story I got, common law queen. Oh, Nene asks Candy, well, am I going to be a bridemaid? But now Natalie brings up the fact that she knows Todd. And Kenya gonna say, oh, are we going there? And Natalie said, well, you went there. You can't talk, Kenya. Don't come for people's marriages when you ain't married. I'm sorry you feel that way. Well, I accept your apology. That wasn't an apology. Kenya always want to be so combative. So then she says, well, I know some things about you I could blurt out. Well, I know you're a man because we was on tour. I am married. I would love to see that gift certificate. Well, heifer, we never saw yours. So Kenya keep throwing common law at Natalie. Natalie says you lying. Then Phaedra goes off on Kenya saying, look, you ain't never been married. Stop talking about a marriage you ain't never had. If there was a marriage. And I mean, that is fair. But Kenya, your marriage is just as iffy. We watched karma come back and kick you in the ass for this with Mark. And then Kenya says, well, you said Todd was an opportunist. So then everybody call out Natalie for doing the same thing Kenya was just doing to you. And Candy's like, you know what? You just let me know I'm that girl. Todd did come up. Then Candy says, well, that's like me and Peter. I know shit from Peter's past, but I ain't gonna say nothing. And then Cynthia's like, wait, hold on now. That was shade. All right, let's get to pillow talk. Oh, we open with Dwight and Phaedra planning Mr. President's birthday, child. Best fiends. Meanwhile, across town, Cynthia tells Peter about Candy's little Barb. Kenya freezes her eggs, which is very smart to take family planning into your own hands. I love that Kenya got the daughter that she wanted. Over with Candy and Todd planning A Mother's Love. He wants to hire Christopher Williams for the stage play, and Candy's like, I'm not so sure. His common law came for me. Candy tells Todd she thinks you're an opportunist. But then Candy invites Todd to the Jamma Jam. Oh wait, no, that was Moesha. I should recap Moesha. But child, now it's time for Mr. President's party. Phaedra mad she gotta dance with Dwight because Apollo won't learn how to cut a rug. Probably because they had his bussy tap dancing in prison. Her and Apollo are really arguing all through this party. So all the girls get there, but Kenya is very late. And this really ticks off Nene, who just seems to be on one already. And now we have our... even the friends is here. Chuck and Minicue, Chris and Natalie. Natalie gives me beaver. I'm going to call her Natalie the Gnar, because she just gnaws on the point. Oh, God, that's right. We got these little naked people bending over, serving drinks. Nene just keeps walking across the room, back and forth. I can walk. I got balls in my pussy. So now Nene really mad at Kenya because she's like, well, you had the nerve to have a problem with everybody else being late and wanted to take over the Savannah trip, but now you ain't on time. So we get the game started and it's all in good fun at the Ginnins. All right, up pulls Kenya with Sissy in tow. This is when Portia says, I'm not comfortable with my man being bisexual or even heterosexual. I want him Portia-sexual. I mean, you was comfortable marrying the sissy first go-round. What's the big deal? Peter pontificates on the officeness, if that's a word, of the Atlanta strip club. Men go there for boobs and business. So Peter says he don't be getting lap dances, and Candy's like, I saw you with a girl on your lap, but okay, player. So then Apollo starts talking about the $8,000 a month he's spending at the strip club. It ain't her money. Yeah, it's not your money either. It's the state of Atlanta's. However, Christopher Williams says he had a mental block about paying for it because he's from the hood. So now Nene brings up that Kenya had so much to say about Chris and Natalie, so let's keep it real. She's starting the mess. So Natalie says, yes, Kenya said we was common law, but baby. So Portia asks Chris, will you take your seat, please? Oh no, he's gonna stand for this. Yeah, I want to address you. Now, Kenya was sitting down next to her sissy. You could have stayed seated. He was all the way across the room. So then Kenya gets up when Natalie says, don't backpedal now. And Chris stops her because you ain't going to let somebody walk up on your woman. But then the sissy gets up, get your hands off her. And they didn't want to be looking at him in that red anyway. Because I want to know why all of a sudden Apollo had to attack him. Did he remind you of your prison girlfriend and you didn't want it to get out? Because that was a bottom's rage. Because that was the rage of a jealous lover. See, it could have stayed between the sissy and Chris. But Apollo just said, oh, a fight. Yeah, then Peter gets involved too and starts throwing him. Peter, why are you up? You did not need to defend Chris Williams. It was one light-skinned black man against another. Fair fight. Peter, why you jumping in it? And really, we got Peter and Apollo jumping Kenya's sissy. He just kicking in the red. Phaedra trying to pull Apollo off of him. I mean, girl, y'all just wanted to beat up a gay man. Ain't nothing else. Ain't nothing else. This was just a homophobic beatdown, and he should have sued Bravo. This would not fly in 2024. Brandon needs to call them and get paid. I mean, Chris wasn't even in the skirmish with, what's his name? DJ, I can't remember. Brandon. It was Peter and Apollo just doing a homophobic ass whooping. And that's why both of you stay broken in and out of prison. Fuck you both. Brandon at least was defending Kenya because Kenya ain't have no man, but they just wanted to beat him up. That was pathetic. They jumped him. You see Apollo and Peter both choking him out and holding him down. He was fighting like he was doing it for his virginity. However, Nene's mad at Kenya for starting it by charging Natalie. I will say Apollo came over to get it started. It was not necessary for any of that. But Peter, you just as much to blame. Kenya, you want to say, now punks and bitches put their hands. Now Kenya, you want to say, you know, oh, punks and bitches put their hands on women. You were charging that man's wife. What did you expect him to do? I'm not letting you get... Apollo said, well, he hit me in my eye. You went over there and put your eye in range of his fist because you was all the way across the room. It was not necessary. Apollo does another charge across the room. Girl, you want Brandon's pussy so bad. You took off your shirt, was all sweaty with it. Oh my God, well, this is the shit. Let's get to the next episode because the fight continues because we got Candy who's gonna drag you in this bitch. Apollo, no! Apollo, no! Oh my Lord. Portia and Lauren are like, look, we outie. So now that we've cleared Apollo and Brandon out, Candy brings up to Natalie that she didn't like how she was talking about Todd. So now Cynthia and Candy getting into it. It matters to me if you said he was an opportunist or implied. So now Peter comes over. What's going on? So then Peter says, y'all acting real strange. And Candy say he bucking his chest up at me like he gonna do something. So child, then Ty walks up to Peter. Oh, I can step up. And they both kind of push each other back. Then Candy gets in the middle of it. Don't you push me. But then Mal pushes Todd real good. Mal, why you in it? So then Candy starts yelling at Mal for pushing her too. Candy screaming, I don't fuck you up. Huh? Nene's friend Alexis is just shaking her head. Mal says she gonna fuck Candy up tonight. She gonna beat her ass. She telling you now. So Peter and Todd have finally calmed down, but Candy's still mad. So Candy says, I'm ready to go. I don't want to talk to you, Peter. So the next day at Candy's house, she catches Karma up on the drama. Greg and Nene drop by Peter and Cynthia's. Over with Brandon and Cynthia, he's still getting over his cracked ribs from the beating. The pussy beat down. So now we just have everybody doing impressions of everybody else while they was mad. You need to back up. Brandon, however, should have pressed charges on Apollo. He was heading back to jail anyway. Over with Fei Fei and Apollo. Apollo just lying. I was trying to hold him back. You was trying to whoop some ass. But it's 7 weeks to opening night of A Mother's Love. Oh, we have an open call. I think Portia gonna sew up and try to hit a note. Across town, we have Portia, I guess, training to sing. Oh, so we gonna have a little massage day and all the girls get back together. Well, we got Kenya, Portia, Candy, and Cynthia. Phaedra popped up too. So they all sit down to talk, and Cynthia starts off with a half apology. She says, maybe I was too close in your personal space because you got all crazy. However, Nene's still holding Kenya's feet to the fire that she started the whole domino effect. Nene said, you wrong, your friend in the red outfit was wrong, and don't bring her around no more. However, all the women have a point. Kenya, yes, Chris grabbed you, but to stop you from charging his wife because he wasn't going to let you roll up on his wife. Should he have put your hands on you? No. But you running across the room at his wife, what do you expect a husband to do? Just let his wife get walloped? So the women understand the position Chris was in, and they would want their husbands to stop a Kenya too. Well, that was the shit, and I'ma see you soon for season 1 of Beverly Hills.